world remains constant over the centuries. But human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Haven't you heard? There's a strange wanderer in your wolfendom.
Ancient alchemy truly is fascinating.
It's been getting quite busy recently.
Welcome. How can I help you? Haven't you heard? There's a strange wanderer in your wolfendom.
Ancient alchemy truly is fascinating.
हेलो 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 वेलकम टू द लेट नाइट स्ट्रीम एवरीवन। कैसे हो सब लोग? क्या हालचाल सभी का? क्या हालचाल
It's
सब
been
लोग
getting
का?
quite busy recently.
वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम एवरीवन।
Welcome. How can I help you?
All the world holds deep is but a backdrop of
Share my knowledge. Hey,
Try not to enjoy this too much.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The Temple of Wisdom. Ha! Yeah, yeah, yeah. La, 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 la. Hey, yeah. Nice and spicy.
Surrender and be gentle. Come a little.
I see everything. Make yourselves at home. Yeah. 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 Ha!
Lucky day.
I'll protect us.
To the fairy. To the fairy.
Everyone hold hands. Share my knowledge. Come on. We can do it. You're toast. Boba, get them.
Let's spark things up a little.
This may hurt a little. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Help. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
अरे हेलो करुणा को भाई, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम। कैसे हो भाई, क्या हालचाल करुणा को भाई आपके? डिनर विनर हुआ क्या करुणा को भाई? Ready, let's go.
It's been a lucky day.
For me. Yeah.
How's this?
Rain cutter, know my sword.
Fairy.
Rain outlines your fate.
Cold. Learn to command. The night is cold.
किसी के क्या दोनों से दूर तुम्हारा ऐसे तो लग अरे उसका स्क्रीन पे लिख देना एक बार भाई, करुणा को भाई उसका स्क्रीन पे एक बार लिख देना कि मैं लाइव कर रहा हूँ अभी। वो शायद लॉगिन नहीं करेगा अगर देखता है तो। फिर भी एक बार बोल दो, आप बोल सकते हो तो।
Stars, shine for me. Not now.
मैं उसका स्क्रीन पे जाके लिखना भूल गया कि लॉगिन मत करना बंदे। ओके ओके, मैं बोल देता। हाँ 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 भाई, बोल दो बोल दो। मैंने उसको बोलना भूल गया, मैसेज करना चाहिए था मेरे को उसको स्ट्रीम पे जाके। तो कोरोना को भाई आपका डिनर विनर सब खत्म हो गया या फिर डिनर करने जा रहे हो अभी? ओके, अच्छा आ गया इवेंट एंडिंग। ओके, इवेंट कर लेता हूँ फिर। एंडिंग एंडिंग कर रहा है, आज करूँ या फिर कल कर लूँ? थोड़ी देर बाद करता हूँ। तो आर्कॉन क्वेस्ट कर लेता हूँ, आर्कॉन क्वेस्ट करता हूँ मैं। भाई तुम सोफी से वेल्किंग कैसे लेते हो? भाई अभी तो पुराने को भाई, अभी देखो, अभी आपको बहुत सारा कार्ड कलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा सोफी पे। अभी तो आपने स्टार्ट किया है, ठीक है ना? आप सोफी का जो मेन सर्वर है उसको भी ज्वाइन कर सकते हो, उधर से भी कार्ड कलेक्ट कर सकते हो। मतलब आपका खुद का ड्रॉप होगा, आपका ग्रैब होगा, ऐसे। करके आप बहुत सारा ढेर सारा कार्ड कलेक्ट करो। उस कार्ड को आप मतलब क्या बोलते हैं, इधर मेनली एक ही है भाई, हाई करके खेलो ना, खेलो नहीं रिग्रेट करोगे। अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है, हाई कर देता हूँ। क्या बोल रहा था मैं, इधर का आपको वेलकिन लेने के लिए एक चीज ही जरूरत है सिर्फ, मतलब एक चीज ही काफी है, वो है विश। आपको चाहिए शायद से 130 के आसपास विश चाहिए एक वेलकिन के लिए, ठीक है ना। एक वेलकिन के लिए 130 के आसपास विश चाहिए, तो वोट से तो वो विश देता है डेली एक वोट, या डेली एक या दो वोट कर सकते हो आप। 8 आवर्स के गैप गैप में होता है शायद से, तो आप वो कर लो। और बाकी का जो है ना, ये बाकी का विश मिलता है आपको, ये कार्ड कार्ड लेना पड़ेगा। जो आप कार्ड कलेक्ट कर रहे हो, ड्रॉप और ग्रैब से कार्ड कलेक्ट कर रहे हो, उसके बाद उस कार्ड को वो सोफी सर्वर में जाके एक होता है ना, क्या बोलते हैं, ट्रेडिंग जोन होता है, तो ट्रेडिंग जोन में, हाँ सोफी सर्वर, हाँ सोफी सर्वर में जाके आप अपना विश देख सकते हो। ऐसा ही करो, आपको सारा लिस्ट आ जाएगा, कितना विश है कितना सिल्वर है। तो उधर सोफी सर्वर में जाके आपको उस जो कार्ड आपको मिलता है, अगर अच्छा वाला कार्ड आपके पास है तो उसको आप ट्रेड कर सकते हो। और अभी आपके लिए
Inactivity
कोई ना कोई
serves
मैं
no
बोलूंगा, अभी
purpose
आप कार्ड
whatsoever.
कलेक्ट करो और वोट डेली करते रहो, वोट एंड बाम, ये जो है ना, ये दोनों चीजें ये डेली करते रहो। बाकी का मैं आपको धीरे धीरे बताऊंगा कि कैसे होता है, पूरा पूरा प्रोसेस कैसे होता है। अभी आपको सिर्फ कार्ड चाहिए, बहुत सारा कार्ड चाहिए। अगर आपके पास बहुत सारा कार्ड आ गया ना, तो कैसे सेलिंग करते हैं, कैसे ये करते हैं, ये मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा बता दूंगा। मेरे को भी इतना नहीं आता बहुत अच्छा, बट मैं भी सीख रहा हूँ, तो आपको भी बता दूंगा कैसे करते हैं थोड़ा बहुत।
Huh. There's a lot less stuff here than before.
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first.
मेरे
It's
पास
best
जावा
not
का
to let
कार्ड है,
any lingering
कोलंबिया का।
effects
ओ
of the
भाई बहुत
abyss
अच्छा,
go
आपको शुरुआत
untreated.
में तो बहुत अच्छा अच्छा ड्रॉप
Thank
मिला है, मेरे को
goodness you
इतना
made
अच्छा
it
ड्रॉप नहीं
back.
मिला था।
I
ठीक है,
came here as
आप
soon as
कलेक्ट
the
करो,
Pyro
जेनसिन का कार्ड का
Archon
बहुत
told me
वैल्यू है
about
ना,
your plan.
जेनसिन का कार्ड का बहुत वैल्यू है। आप
Take
आपको
a seat,
उससे बहुत वैल्यू
everybody.
मिलेगा
I'll
बाद में।
examine you one by
कलेक्ट
one.
करो, जो अच्छा अच्छा कार्ड है कलेक्ट करो। और आप सोपी सर्वर में जो डंजन 1 है उसमें भी ड्रॉप कर सकते हो कार्ड, बट आपको मैं बोलूंगा कि मेरे सर्वर में या फिर किसी और के सर्वर में, सोपी सर्वर में ड्रॉप करना। क्योंकि आपको वो नोडी ना, नोडी आपको दिखा देता है कितना आपका वो विश लिस्ट कितना है, कितना जेन है। सब जेन जेन तो हर टाइम नहीं दिखाता, बट ठीक है, विश लिस्ट जेन अलग से दिखा देगा, तो अच्छा होता है वो। ड्रॉप कर सकते हो आप पूरे किसी के पर्सनल सर्वर में। नहीं तो आप फिर जो सोफी का डंजन 1 है उस पे ड्रॉप कर सकते हो। उधर तो भाई अलग ही ड्रॉप होता है, हर टाइम ड्रॉप होता है, हर एक सेकंड में ड्रॉप होता है उधर। मेरा ड्रॉप रेडी हो गया, ड्रॉप कर दिया मैंने। अरे अच्छा मिला है। हाँ मैं टीसी का सर्वर पे सेटअप किया हूँ, सोफी एंड नोडिया। अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है भाई, हाँ भाई। वो टीसी तो शायद से नहीं खेलता वो, सोफी जितना उसका सर्वर में नहीं
All
था
right,
पहले।
that should do
मैंने
it for
बोला था
now.
उसको कि सोफी कर ले,
But just to
कोई
be
कोई अगर
safe,
खेलता
I'll
है तो।
perform another checkup in a couple of days.
ठीक है कर लो, उधर भी ड्रॉप
I
कर
have
लो,
to
और क्या,
say, though,
खेलो एक
I've
साथ
never
सब
seen
लोग।
anyone react to the abyss like you, Traveler. It's like you're completely immune.
She's always been special like that. She can even purify its power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't think she's affected either.
वो भी शुरू कर दिया है खेलना। अरे बढ़िया बढ़िया बढ़िया, वो पहले पहले करता था मेरे सर्वर में, एक दो ड्रॉप करता था, मैं हम लोग जब बोलते थे
Given the
तब
current
करता था।
situation, that ability will likely play a great role in the events to come.
Of course. I still have patience to see, so I'll head out.
Thank you, Koichi.
All right, all right. We might not see eye to eye, but we both had good intentions. Just give it time. I'm sure we'll figure things out between us one day.
Yeah.
आपका तो मैंने देखा भाई, आपका अच्छा अच्छा ड्रॉप हुआ है। मेरा मेरा ना, मेरा
All
सोफी
right,
सोफी ट्राई किया था, मेरा इतना
there's
अच्छा
so
ड्रॉप
much to
नहीं हुआ था,
discuss,
बिल्कुल
I
अच्छा
don't
ड्रॉप
even know
नहीं
where
हुआ।
to begin.
इतना अच्छा क्यों बोल रहे हो,
You've
बिल्कुल अच्छा
seen it
ड्रॉप
for
नहीं हुआ।
yourselves now. The devastation in the Night Kingdom. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Huh?
भाई हम लोग जब आते हैं
No,
तभी ऐसा होता है, जिस रीजन में भी जाते हैं,
that can't be true,
डेवस्टेशन के
can it?
एकदम करीब होता है कि डिस्ट्रॉय हो जाएगा, अभी 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 डिस्ट्रॉय होगा, अभी डिस्ट्रॉय
That's
होगा।
right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this nation. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated 500 years ago.
Mulan told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago, all the nations of Teyvat were invaded by, unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came at the cost of our civilization and countless lives. Even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace we know today. And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. Their threat to Natlan remains as real as ever.
I'd never have guessed.
The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as Natlan's ley lines. Immediately after the war, our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss. But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory, nor did they hold hope for the future. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from the Wayab nearly severed. If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeating the Abyss in the future. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and finally came up with a 500-year-long plan to save Natlan.
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me a series of new memories. Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to play an important role in it. But there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. And it was you.
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense. The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human. It's impossible for a human to live that long.
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time, or rather, the natural limitations of our lifespan. A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, or subjecting them to a curse. But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own methods. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my life within the sacred flame. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came together as one. If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribes. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to
मेरे
its
दाव पे
full
1.5
strength,
के
the
हाथ है
tribe's
तो
Wayab
उससे
would
सेल
select
करता
a
उसका है ना.
hero,
हाँ भाई
indicating the
उससे सेल कर
tribe
सकते
was
हो
once
अगर
again
आपको
ready
मतलब
for
इंटरेस्टेड
war.
बायर मिला
The Chosen
तो
would then
जाओ वो
stand by
जाओ
my
बहुत
side in defense of
अच्छा
our
काम देगा
nation,
उसका
just like
1.5 के
great
वही चीज है
heroes
ना
of
तो
old
आपको मिलेगा भाई
500 years ago.
अच्छा ही मिलेगा उसके
So that
लिए
means I'm one of the
कितना मिलेगा मैं
chosen?
बोल सकता हूँ आपको
That's right.
रुको सोचने दो
You
मेरे को
bear the
भाई
ancient
जेन
name
कितना है
Umoja,
वो भी देखना
the
पड़ेगा
same one held by the hero from your tribe
वो भी देखना पड़ेगा
500 years
1.5 के लिए
ago.
जेन भी देखना
It
पड़ेगा कि
means
जेन
unity.
कितना है उसका
After your
वो भी एक
adventure in the
फैक्टर होता
Night
है
Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning of that name.
So in other words, you always knew who the Wayab were going to pick from each tribe?
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel regarding the plan wasn't passed on to them. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the...
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly.
हाँ
It's just another
607
tactic
तो
the Abyss is
607
using
जेन मतलब भाई
against
मिड
us.
जेन होता है वो
The
मिड जेन
Abyss
कार्ड
may
होता है
not possess
तो मिड
intelligence,
जेन है
but its
1.5 के
methods
मतलब आपको
certainly
बहुत
aren't
अच्छा
easy
ही
to
अच्छा प्राइस
counter.
मिलेगा अब देखो
If we
कितना दे
want to
रहा है वो
unblock that
मतलब
information from being
आपको
passed
मिलेगा
on,
भाई कितना
my
बोलूं मैं
presence alone isn't
1.5 के
enough.
ओके
The ancient name
तो
bearer must establish a
मिलेगा
greater
भाई आपको
connection to
10
their name.
15 के ऊपर मिलेगा
So,
15 को
I've
20 के
tried
आसपास
my
मिलेगा
best to
देखो
help them from the
कितना बायर
sidelines.
कितना दे रहा है बायर कितना दे रहा है आपको
Currently,
देखना पड़ेगा
Shalonen of
जेनसिन
the
का
Children
कार्ड
of
का भाव बहुत
Echoes,
ज्यादा है अभी रख दो
Kinich of the
उसको
Scions of
अभी
the
आपको स्टोर
Canopy,
करके रख दो
and
एक साथ जो
Yansan of
जेनसिन
the
कार्ड
Collective
खरीदेगा
of
ना उसको
Plenty
देना
have all been
तो एक
acknowledged
साथ
by their
बहुत
names.
क्या बोलते
During
हो
your
एकदम
adventure, you
क्या
too
बोलते हो
earned the
मैथ सेल कर
acknowledgement of
देना
your
तो बहुत
Wayab
क्विज मिल
Mualani.
जाएगा आपको
In the process, you gained the memories
और
stored
जो
within your
सिर्फ
name.
जाओ कलेक्ट कर रहा है कर रहा होगा वो भी आपको अच्छा भाव देगा इसका बहुत अच्छा भाव देगा रुको डाल हाँ क्या ओके ओके सब साथ में डाल दो हाँ आपको अगर मतलब अगर अभी भी मिलता है अभी आप ट्रेडिंग जोन कभी कभी चेक करते रहना अभी किसी को अगर सिर्फ सिंगल जाओ चाहिए या फिर बोल रहा है कि मिड रेंज जाओ चाहिए मेरे को तो उसको अगर आप देते हो ना तो उसको वो कार्ड रिक्वायरमेंट है तो उसको अगर आप देते हो तो वो आपको बहुत अच्छा भाव देगा बहुत अच्छा ठीक है ना और अगर कोई जेनसिन का सीरीज कलेक्ट कर रहा है उसको भी दोगे तो वो अच्छा भाव देगा तो कभी कभी ट्रेड जोन चेक करते रहना और प्राइस का इधर उधर देखना चेक करते रहना कि कौन कितना दे रहा है कौन कितना दे रहा है सबको ही पूछना कि कौन कितना देगा तो ऐसा ऐसा सीन है बाकी अगर आपको कंफ्यूजन होता है तो मेरे को डायरेक्ट डिस्कॉर्ड में मैसेज कर देना कि इतना भाव बोल रहे हैं तो मैं बता दूंगा आपको अवेलेबल होता हूँ तो मैं बता दूंगा तभी ठीक है कि
But we have less
गलत है
than a year.
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been gathered. That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of the situation.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this? Wouldn't that make everything go a lot faster?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential. Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather than a sense of obligation.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final two heroes are then.
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development. I can only trust in the judgment of the Wayab. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others that we managed to get
पुराने को
this
भाई आपने
far.
ये कर लिया क्या
Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any
Sid Navier
singular
Tilly,
individual,
one
but in
320
us
हर्ट्स
all.
एंड वन तो ये लार्ज जन है तो 328 हर्ट इसको भी मिलेगा आपको 8 के आसपास मिल जाएगा वो आई होप 8 के आसपास मिल जाएगा आपको ठीक है ना आपने वो सोफी का मेन सर्वर ज्वाइन किया ना सोफी का मेन सर्वर पे ज्वाइन किया ना तो उधर ट्रेड जोन मिलेगा आपको
You're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might get away with avoiding the topic.
Huh? Oh, right! All the stuff you stored here before, where did it all go?
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make it back from the Night Kingdom. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important purpose: fuel.
Fuel? Ah, so back then, that's why you...
Yes, the stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but there's an even more significant trait they all share. Every item belonged to a hero of Natlan. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle. On their own, each item's power is limited, but together their combined effect can prove quite useful in a dire situation. By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them to open the boundary between the two worlds. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant, as you can see.
But Aren't they all precious treasures? What about their stories?
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use that power. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night Kingdom would have been forever lost to the
हाँ
abyss.
मैं उस सर्वर में
And
ऑलरेडी
then,
अच्छा अच्छा
it would
फिर तो
only
अच्छा
be a
फिर
matter
आपको
of
वो
time before the
उधर मिलेगा
Children of
ट्रेड जोन
Echoes was
पे चेक
met
करो
with
ट्रेड जोन
disaster.
मतलब ट्रेड कार्ड
Besides,
जो बाई है ना
when those
कार्ड
heroes
बाई सेक्शन
entrusted
चेक
their
करो उधर मिल
belongings to
जाएगा
me,
आपको
or the
कौन
Pyro
सा कार्ड
Archons
सेल
of their
कर रहा है
time,
वो सब डिटेल मिल
it was
जाएगा
out
आपको
of a desire to contribute to Natlan's survival. If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would not mourn their loss.
Even when you put it that way, I still feel bad.
There's no need. Remember what I told you about time? The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply carry them with us in a different form. In that sense, if you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like the items once stored here.
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink sometime. Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph in the Night Warden Wars. And we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence everyone who doubted you once and for all, Kachina.
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing, having a victory feast doesn't feel right.
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. Worrying about it will only affect your judgment. All right, you should head out. I'll join you in a bit.
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to the stories of warriors from all over Natlan. They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy here, no matter what tribe you're from. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there to bring all hot spring buddies together. It's been really nice, seeing the children of my tribe get older. It's helped me gradually understand the true value of the springs. I've witnessed their energy, their determination, their absolute passion for life. Even when they cause trouble, I never managed to hold on to my anger for long. It's unbelievable how quickly they worm their way back into my good graces. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. She possesses infinite potential. I can see it. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children, just like those warriors did for me. So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise victory in the distant future. The Abyss is a cunning
भाई साहब
enemy,
ये कौन सा
one
प्लेस है
that
रे?
I've
इसका
faced
मेमोरी
in
लेन है क्या?
battle many
भाई
times.
साहब
Were that
अलग ही
not the
प्लेस है ये.
case, I would never understand exercising this degree of caution. My rage will never know absolution, and my power will no longer aid you in victory. But you came to me because you knew you could convince me with just a single sentence. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn us the victory we are owed. Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For Natlan.
हाँ भाई साहब कह रहा कि स्टैट्स इंप्रूव करो. बेकार बेकार है स्टैट्स. किसका स्टैट भाई?
So, you're
किसका
gonna head
स्टैट इंप्रूव
500
करने के लिए
years
बोल
in the
रहा है?
future to serve as the Pyro Archon again? But what about the you from right now? You're just gonna die?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is hers to make, and she deserves our support. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry. Even across time, we will all do our part to fight for Natlan's future.
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you, sis. Oh, seriously though, Dad should be here. Where is he?
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all.
जायो का कह रहा है.
Don't take it to heart, my dear. That's just who he
जायो का
is.
स्टैट बेकार है भाई. मतलब क्या बोले. स्टैट तो मेरे
Just
को बेकार
remember,
नहीं लगता भाई.
no matter what
1.5K
happens in
का
the
विश
future,
लिस्ट है
we
और
will always
मिड
love
जेन है
you.
तो जो जेंसिन कार्ड कलेक्ट करेगा उसको अच्छा ही लगेगा. मतलब बहुत बुरा तो नहीं है. मेरे को लगता है अच्छा ही है वो. मिड जेन भी है तो इतना ज्यादा दिक्कत नहीं होगा उसको. सेल हो जाएगा वो. मतलब बाल्क में भी सेल हो जाएगा वो अगर ऐसा सिंगल नहीं हो रहा.
I'll
मैंने
come
बोला ना
find you
जो
one
जिसको
day.
इंटरेस्ट है तो उसको ही देना तो उससे
I
अच्छा
know I
होगा
can't
आपको.
live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it.
सब कह रहे हैं कि स्टैट्स को
So,
इम्प्रूव. स्टैट्स को कैसे
don't
इम्प्रूव
forget
करते हैं
about
मेरे को
me.
नहीं पता. स्टैट्स को आप इम्प्रूव तो नहीं कर सकते. मतलब वो तो ऑटोमेटिकली जो देता है वही. अगर आपको अच्छा ड्रॉप हुआ तो बाद में आप देख लेना. स्टैट को इम्प्रूव कैसे कर सकते हैं मेरे को नहीं पता भाई. आप पूछो उनसे कि ऐसा स्टैट इम्प्रूव हो सकता है.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
अगर वो
May our children
एचपी
live to
डिफेंस और
see
उसका बात
such a
कर रहा है तो
lovely son.
अलग बात है.
For
उस टाइप की
Natlan!
बात कर रहा था. अच्छा समझ रहे हो.
No one
उधर का
fights alone.
थोड़ा ये है. वहाँ स्पाइट एडवाइजर ने बोला. अच्छा स्पाइट एडवाइजर ने बोला. मतलब स्टैट का बात कर रहे हैं. मेरे को लग रहा है आपका वो एचपी डिफेंस जो है ना कुछ अटैक का उधर का स्टैट का बात कर
The
सकता है वो.
rules are my
बट आप
legacy.
तो वो कार्ड
They shall
रेड कार्ड
grant us the
के तरह सेल नहीं
strength
कर रहा है.
to
तो
overcome the
मेरे
next
को नहीं
tragedy.
लगता कि वो उतना मैटर करेगा. अगर किसी को चाहिए
War
जाओ तो वो
forged the
आराम से
6
ले लेगा
tribes,
आपका कार्ड.
taught us how to fight, instilled in us what it means to love.
मेरे को जो लगता है
Will
पता
be
नहीं.
the
मैंने कभी
one
जेंसिन
to
कार्ड सेल नहीं
bring
किया अभी तक.
this
मैं भी
to an
मतलब
end.
कलेक्शन कर रहा हूँ जेंसिन कार्ड का. तो मैंने कभी अभी तक सेल नहीं किया. मेरे को उतना एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है वो भी
We
बोल सकते
are
हो.
the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny and future. That
12
is
टू तो 12
Natlan's
को स्टैप
fire,
बिकेगा. हाँ
the
हाँ हाँ हाँ
lifeblood
हाँ, ठीक है.
of
हाँ ठीक ही
our
बोला है भाई.
nation.
मतलब ठीक बोला है. मतलब अगर आपको ऐसा पाया मिल गया मतलब वो तो नॉर्मल प्राइस है एकदम. मतलब वो क्या बोलते हो आप उसको. मतलब वो स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस है. बट अगर आपको वो बहुत अच्छा इंटरेस्टेड बायर मिल गया तो आपको ज्यादा भी मिल सकता है. ऐसा सीन नहीं है. जिसको मतलब सिंगल सिंगल चाहिए कि सिंगल राउंड देना है मिड जेन का या फिर कुछ जेन का पूरा कलेक्शन कर रहा है तो उसको अगर आप बेचते हो तो आपको थोड़ा ज्यादा मिल सकता है। कहाँ से जाने के लिए बोल रहे हो? ऊपर से जाने के लिए बोल रहे हो क्या? अच्छा ऊपर से जाना है। ओ मैं समझा, हाँ हाँ हाँ, ये स्टैंडर्ड प्राइसिंग है। हाँ स्टैंडर्ड प्राइसिंग है ये। अगर किसी को मतलब बहुत जरूरत है तो वो आपसे ज्यादा प्राइस में भी खरीद सकता है। तो बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है तो आपको आप उसके साथ बार्गेनिंग कर सकते हो कि मेरे को इतना चाहिए। तो वो अगर इंटरेस्टेड है तो आपको देगा उतना। अच्छा अच्छा, प्राइस प्राइस से बात है।
Hey, Koichi! You here for the victory feast too?
Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver some medicine. I was about to leave, actually. But it's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad she made it back. It's
पता
just,
आज बेच रहा
well,
था for
I'll make things
40 minutes।
awkward if I'm around my sister
भाई
right
उसका
now.
जेन जेन
Ah,
और
well,
विस्ट
you
भाई
two
देखो,
had a fight, so
हो
Paimon
सकता
can
है, हो
understand.
सकता है 40 minutes
She
ऐसा नहीं, जेन
didn't
और
cause
विस्ट
any
देखना।
trouble during your trip, right?
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave us a lot of useful information about the Abyss.
That's good. That's all I needed.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first met, but now it's like you're holding something back.
Uh, Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but I
एक
did
बंदा
it
आलू
for a
बेच रहा
reason.
था for
Her
उसने
impulse to
पैसे
fight is extremely
किसी का तो
strong.
मैंने पढ़ लिया।
Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses control sometimes. I had no idea what you might face in the Night Kingdom, so I didn't want to take any chances.
So, what you're saying is...
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid, but it works pretty well. It helps her keep her cool for a little while, at least. Anyway, I'm just glad you were able to make it back safe and sound. That's all I wanted.
But do you really have to go that far? Can't you just talk it out?
No way. Chaska never opens up about her own pain, especially to her family. She can't learn about this, or it'll be even harder to help her. I appreciate the understanding, and don't worry. I'll find a way to help her ease this burden. Anyway, I need to get going. Enjoy the celebration. Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh. Who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind their arguing? In the end, it's all the Abyss's fault. Paimon's had enough of them.
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina! Woohoo!
Well done, Kachina. Thank you, everyone.
I always knew you could do it. With so much potential at your age, you have a great...
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to abandon your team. I'll be dealing with you when we get back.
I had no choice. My friend invited me. I couldn't just say no.
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get ahead in the first round?
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured in the wild, so I stopped to bandage his wounds.
हाँ भाई कुछ लोग कार्ड को ऑक्शन पे डालते
When he
हैं। अब
insisted
देखो
on
ये
repaying the favor, what was
मैं
I
बताता हूँ,
supposed
रुक
to
जाओ
do?
एक सेकंड,
I'm just one person. I figured Kachina
रुक
would
जाओ,
have no
ये
trouble replacing me.
कंप्लीट हो जाएगा। हाँ हाँ भाई, तो क्या बात है, ये है जो कार्ड का प्राइस आप डिसाइड नहीं कर सकते। मेरे पास एक इस तरह का कार्ड है, ठीक है ना। तो मतलब ये होता है कि अगर आपको कोई मतलब सीरीज का आपको एमसी मिल गया, मतलब एनिमी का एमसी मिल गया, एनिमी समझते हो ना। समझ लो कि आपको डेमन स्लेयर का मिल गया, तंजीरो का मादो मिल गया आपको, और वो बहुत लो जेन का है, मतलब आपको लो जेन कार्ड का बहुत वैल्यू है, मतलब 100 के नीचे अगर जेन होगा तो कार्ड का बहुत वैल्यू है। तो आपको लो जेन कार्ड और इनसी मिल जाता है अगर, तो उस कार्ड का मतलब आप प्राइस ठीक से प्राइस एडवाइजर भी नहीं बोल सकता कि कितना होगा, तो उसका वैल्यू चेंज होता रहता है। तो आप उस तरह का कार्ड को, मतलब जो डिबेटेबल कार्ड है जिसका प्राइस डिसाइडेबल नहीं है, तो उसका अगर ऑक्शन में डालते हो तो फिर आपको मतलब उससे बहुत फायदा होता है। मतलब आप ऐसे कार्ड बेच के मतलब प्रॉफिट जितना कमाओगे, अगर आप ऑप्शन में डालें तो ऑप्शन का तरीका तो आप जानते ही हो कि बेट के ऊपर बेट लगेगा तो आपका बेट बढ़ता ही जाएगा। तो एकदम जो प्राइस होगा लास्ट वाला, तो वो फाइनल प्राइस वो बहुत हाई होगा आपका। तो उससे मतलब आपका ठीक ठाक प्राइस मिलेगा उसका, इसीलिए कोई लोग ऑप्शन में डालता है। जो डिबेटेबल कार्ड है उसको ऑप्शन में डालता है कि बहुत अच्छा कार्ड है आपका। और अगर आप समझ लो कि सोलो लेवलिंग का गोजो सतारू मिल गया, सोलो लेवलिंग बोल रहे हैं, उसका क्या नाम है, अरे यार मैं भूल गया, जुत्सु काइसेन का गोजो सतरू मिल गया, और वो कोई इवेंट का कार्ड है समझ लो, या फिर कि लोजेन का कार्ड है, तो वो वाला कार्ड आप ऑप्शन में डालोगे, तो क्योंकि वो एमसी भी है लोजेन का भी है, तो वो आपको बहुत फायदा होगा उससे। बहुत बहुत बोल दिया कोरोना को भाई, कुछ समझ में आया या फिर नहीं? मैं बहुत बोल
But the
दिया
fact
उल्टा
of the matter is
सीधा।
that after your departure, everyone else started thinking about swapping teams too.
I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong of us to abandon you like that.
It's amazing that you still made it all the way through to the Night Warden Wars. That's the highest honor.
So, what about you guys? Did you make it far?
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition and turned up late to the stadium
हाँ
on the
समझ गया,
day.
मैं वाईटी पे रिसर्च
We
कर
got
रहा था बहुत
disqualified.
दिनों से। अच्छा 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 भाई, अच्छा ठीक है भाई। मेरे को भी भाई थोड़ा बहुत ही पता है, मतलब ये सारा चीज थोड़ा थोड़ा जानता हूँ।
Serves you all right. No sympathy from me.
Alright. There's no need to be like, dear friends, I'd like to say it firstly. I'm grateful to my friends and our great Archon for helping to bring me back. This traveler and her companion Paimon are some of the strongest people I've ever met. If they were allowed to participate in the pilgrimage, I have no doubt that they'd win the whole thing. They've agreed to let me learn from them. With their help, I believe I can become even stronger still. And let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Aeon-san. They all helped the Traveler and Paimon figure out a way to bring me back from the Night Kingdom. They too deserve to be called our heroes. So, please give another round of applause for them. Thank you so much.
Well said!
I'll drink to that.
How does it feel being a hero, Kachina?
To be honest, it's a bit overwhelming. It all just feels so surreal. Well, you better get used to it. Next up, undefeated champion! Hey, please don't make fun of me.
कहाँ बैठी है पायरो आर्कन, मोहिता कहाँ है? ये हटो, चिनी गल्ला, बेंटेन बॉय।
Ah, you're here. Have some fruit juice. I got it specially for you two.
How did you know? That's Paimon's favorite!
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away. Because they had their own lives to live. The thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end of time, for in 500 years Natlan will be destroyed, it seemed too cruel. You could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to an end eventually. But life is short, and beyond a point it just doesn't seem real. Imagine if I said, let's leave right now, and go save the sun because it'll flame out in a few million years. It would sound quite ridiculous. I couldn't make them shoulder that burden with me. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. The plan could still work with, or, of course, without me. But since I was the one who came up with the plan, I felt duty-bound to see it through to the end.
Paimon said finally remembering that portrait in your room. Was that your family from back then?
Yes, it was. So when you asked me who my sister grew up to be, the truth is that very little information survives. From what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with a reasonable degree of confidence that she ended up as an architect and artist. She played an instrumental role in rebuilding the scions of the Canopy tribe, designing and building many houses. But of course, still, it was an impressive achievement, and I'm very proud of her. You feel loss keenly. It seems to stir up feelings of regret in you. But this is something I have long since come to terms with. This is a war, and there can be no war without loss. I am already far more fortunate than those who lost their lives to the Abyss. The people of Natlan look to me as their Archon, and the weight of their expectations is mine to bear. I must see our fate through to the very end, no matter what I may find there.
Yeah, doesn't that mean the way everything ends has already been written, including your plan?
I suppose, but so what? Don't forget, time takes many forms. The past, present, and future coexist, and all are equally important. Even if the future ends in destruction, there's still no reason to give up on the here and now. And it's precisely because we humans cannot know our fate that we will never give up on our struggle. This is a pivotal moment. We are still 2 heroes short. Well, 3, to be precise. There's one further hero who I'm hoping to get on my side, whatever it takes. Your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. It would easily make you an all-important figure in the upcoming battle. If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support in your journey, but I will also forge a brand new ancient name for you.
Ancient names can be forged?
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they couldn't be forged at all, then the number of them in circulation would have long dwindled to 0. Possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in full. Your stories would be remembered by our people for all the years to come. The Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still, take this as my personal guarantee that I shall never let you fall. Just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you. That is a promise I will fulfill at all costs. This nation always honors its heroes.
Yeah, we can't just ignore the situation here.
Wonderful. Then I'll reach out to Shilonen right away. She's the one who will forge the name. We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before, but I trust she'll find a way.
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time to seize the Gnosis.
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness, and I don't intend to start now. As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have dispelled it. She simply chose not to. You don't have much time, and you're injured on top of that. What do you plan to do next?
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
Things have been looking really rough for Natlan lately. There are more and more commissions from the Adventurers Guild, and they're all related to the Abyss. Just waiting around won't do us any good. Let's go and see if there's anything we can do to help.
I see. Thank you so much. The Adventurers Guild has been overwhelmed these days.
No worries at all. We've always valued the strength of adventurers. Given the current situation, it's vital that we all work together. Since we're facing the same enemies, I'll send you the intel we've collected on the Abyss so far. Then we...
All right. Thank you so much.
Hi, Catherine. It's us. Got any new commissions?
Ah, you two have come just in time. I've got some good news. The Pyro Archon has finished assembling her forces and stationed them all across Natlan. Given how the Abyss has ramped up its activities lately, we can no longer afford to act only after receiving news of an invasion. So the Pyro Archon suggested that the Scions of the Canopy and the Adventurers Guild focus on collecting and disseminating intel. That way, we can stay informed of everything that's happening across the land. Once we receive word of enemy activity, we can notify the nearest camp and the stationed forces can take immediate action. Yes, precisely. This should also allow us to focus on gathering information, rather than running around and trying to tackle everything at once. So please also take a chance to relax, you two. You've been working hard these days, and this will be a good opportunity for some well-deserved rest.
So that's the plan! Whew, we can finally stop and take a break! Paimon knows that! It's not like Paimon just wanted to lay here and do nothing!
The movements of the Abyss are always unpredictable. There have also been times when it suddenly became more active in the past. The people here generally see it as something like an acute natural disaster. Once the disaster is over, everyone will return to their normal lives. We just all hope that day will be sooner rather than later.
Oh, right. Most people have no idea just how bad the situation has gotten in the Night Kingdom. Oh, hey, Kachina! Are you Wow! So we'll finally get to meet Shilonen, the legendary forger of ancient names! Paimon still can't believe anyone could forge those things. Hey, have some confidence in yourself, Kachina. After all, you're already a victor of the Night Warden Wars.
Ah, yes, so I've heard. So young, and yet you've already got quite the reputation. Wait, are you Outlanders?
Yep, we're travelers who just arrived in Natland not too long ago.
No, I mean, I was aware that you're travelers. It's just no one told me that you're Outlanders. No, the only thing she said is that a new hero had pledged herself to the plan, but we need to forge an ancient name to ensure she'd be able to return safe and sound. And she did mention that it would be quite difficult to forge an ancient name for them, but at the time, I thought she was just commenting on my skills. But I seem to understand where the true difficulty lies now. No, I wouldn't go that far. I'm used to it, really. The Pyro Archon's requests are always difficult to fulfill, and we used to argue a lot. Honestly, it's probably for the better that she didn't bring this up at the time. Anyway, I can't argue with her if she isn't here, and it'd be pointless to take my anger out on someone else. But, just because I understand her rationale doesn't make me any less upset. After all, she must have known that forging an ancient name for an Outlander is an impossible—
It's impossible?
As you probably know, an ancient name is a symbol of a hero's spirit and glory, which grows even richer and heavier as generations of successors inherit it. We forge ancient names by engraving the heroic deeds of an individual who will become the first hero of that particular name. But they were all performed outside of Natlan, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Then those deeds haven't been recorded by the Night Kingdom. To take it one step further, even if you had performed heroic deeds in Natlan, as an Outlander, your actions still wouldn't have been recorded by our lands. Only memories and experiences that have been acknowledged by the Wyab can be used as a basis for an ancient name. Even the greatest of craftsmen cannot create something out of thin air, you know. That's just how it is.
Seems the Wyab don't want just anyone to get a name, huh?
Mawika, of all people, should know better than anyone, yet she's still entrusted the task of forging the ancient name to me.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Nobody's happy being asked to do the impossible.
Ugh, don't remind me. Let's just focus on how we can pull this off. How to achieve the impossible.
You mean you're already willing to accept the task?
Well, what else can I do? What's happened is already done, and it's not like I can outright defy the order of my Archon. If she gave me this order, then she believes the ancient name is an indispensable part of her plan, and that I'll be able to find a way to make it happen. In other words, the order is an affirmation of my abilities.
Whoa, not only has she accepted the task, but now she's looking for silver linings?
The key is getting the Wyab to somehow acknowledge the traveler's existence and record her heroic deeds.
We heard the voice of a Wyab when we were in the Night Kingdom before. We even had a whole conversation with her. If we can talk to her again, maybe we can figure something out together.
Well, every tribe has their own Wyab. How do we know if the one you met is indeed the best one for us to talk to? Plus, considering the unprecedented nature of this situation, I have a feeling that the acknowledgement of one Wyab alone would probably not be enough. I don't know. That requires a level of knowledge that I do not possess. We need to find a consultant who's an expert on all things Night Kingdom and Wyab. The first person who comes to mind is Lali at the Masters of the Nightwind. The one we call Granny Eatstali.
Oh, we've heard that name before. We used her Spirit Speaker Stone to find Kachina's ancient name. A person who can make something like that must be pretty impressive. I'm sure she'd be able to help.
Still, she's older now and quite eccentric. It's hard to even book a meeting with her, given that she's constantly holed up in her room and doesn't like to be disturbed. I've heard that to get her help, you have to be extremely patient with her and know how to keep her spirit up.
I hate to break it to you, but...
Huh. Why is that? I mean, didn't she already help you before? And you even managed to save Kachina.
Well, yeah, at the cost of her Spirit Speaker Stone being split into two.
Great going, Mawika. We're already off to a rocky start here. In that case, I guess your only option is to try to emphasize that this is an important order from the Pyro Archon. Hopefully, Lali would still want to show respect to the Archon. I'll also write you a letter on your behalf. If you can find someone to deliver it and mention some good things about you, then that should help too.
One sure hopes a Hal won't interrupt when he's talking, though.
All right, Kanich is a seasoned negotiator. I trust that he'll know the best things to say. Please just give me a moment to write the letter, and we can meet up near the Statue of the Seven later.
Sounds good. We'll take a stroll in the meantime.
I'm sorry to put this on you, Kanich. It's just that you're probably the only person who knows how to deal. Oh, wait, so Kachina and the Traveler also know about the plan?
Right. She mentioned there are 6 heroes and that Shilonen is one of 4 that have already been acknowledged.
Oh, well, then I suppose there's no need to keep any secrets between us. Having companions walk by your side is perhaps the best solace when facing such a bleak reality.
See, Lolly knows.
Given how the Masters of the Nightwind love to babble about dreams and revelations, they're already a pretty strange bunch to most. I've never met Auroran, but if they consider him the odd one, he's got to be pretty far out there.
Huh. Makes sense. But Paimon wonders how Seat Lolly could be the first one to notice Auroran's disappearance if she spent.
Huh, so if I'm following, you mean we'll help her investigate Auroran and the captain's whereabouts?
Yeah! Plus, we kinda owe her one anyway to make up for breaking the spirit speakers down.
Ah, this is a pretty well thought out plan, as expected of Molly Poke Kanich. Then, yeah, I'll leave my letter to you. Let's hope Seat Lolly can meet at the stadium in 2 days. Okay, then let's part ways for now. I'll see you in a couple of days.
Shine down! The world remains calm.
memories. But human life is like the dew at dawn. Or we'll ride through water.
Oh, it's time to meet up with Shilonen. Let's ask her how things have been going. Hey, Shilonen, how's everything going?
Oh, hi, Traveler and Paimon. I have bad news. Lolly did not reply to our request, although...
Huh? You mean she didn't even bother to give Kanichi a response?
Yeah, well, she can be also quite eccentric, though she's one of the most gifted people around. Even the Masters of the Nightwind often struggle to work with her. My guess is that she probably has other reasons for not deigning us with a response. But let's go to the stadium and see if we can meet her there. If we do get a chance to talk to her in person, we can still try to work something out.
That's true. Let's go! Paimon doesn't see anybody. Seems she's just not gonna show up, huh?
Well, we tried to be as considerate as we could, but she's under...
That might be true, but this is still a request from the Pyro Archon, right?
A subject? Well, if you ask me, I'd say we're all more like friends with the Archon. Yes, Mawika is our leader, but that doesn't mean there's any kind of tall barrier between us and her. The only thing is that she often has very high expectations of us.
Huh. So even though she's super powerful, it sounds like she's actually pretty down to earth and easy to get along with. Unlike that old hag Granny Eatstily, right? Does she think she can ignore us just because she's famous? You all talk about her like she's some kind of huge deal, but she didn't even bother to reply to our letter! Seriously, if she didn't want to come, she could at least let us know! If that's what aging does to you, Paimon never wants to get old.
Oh, really? So, that's how you see me?
Huh? Who's there? Who's talking next to Paimon?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a disgruntled old hag, right? Come on, relax. I'm sure my bark's worse than my bite.
Huh? Lolly.
Wait, you're Lolly? You're Granny Eatstily?
Yes, Granny Eatstly. But emphasis on Eatstly, not Granny. You must know this trope from light novels, surely. They use it all the time. The young man who's actually the oldest person in the room. The girl next door who turns out to be a seasoned veteran. The wise sage who looks like a little Oh, wipe that look off your face! You've seriously never seen an older lady that doesn't look her age? Okay, well, don't go thinking it's a trick either. See? I'm barely wearing any makeup.
Did I forget to mention, she's called Granny, but she's actually pretty young. It was an honest mistake. I guess we've just gotten used to it.
I'm sorry. So,
What? How dare you? Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady her age?
Paimon really didn't mean to offend you, it's just that, your case seems really unique. Oh, Paimon just wanted to apologize, but now she's putting more and more of her foot in her mouth. Really, Paimon just got a little mad since we thought, well, you were gonna leave us out to dry.
It was my idea to invite you here, Lolly. So if you're upset, you can just take it out on me.
All right. I was only joking. I didn't mean to chastise anyone. There's really no need to take all this so seriously. If anything, I'm gonna feel awkward if we keep this going. I received Kenichi's letter and was planning to attend this meeting. Since I had already decided to come, I figured there was no need to draft a reply that simply said, "Understood." Besides, just showing up is the most important part. No, but of course, it's also natural for people to get held up by one thing or another as they're trying to leave the house. It certainly was a bit awkward to see that everyone else had arrived before me. At first, I was thinking of quietly sneaking over, but since you were already here waiting for me, I started to think about how I should phrase my apology. Only to hear you all talking smack about me. Anyway, that's the whole story. Honestly, it's not like I owed you an explanation anyway.
What's with that expression? Was she feeling embarrassed just now?
When the Masters of the Night Wind say they struggle dealing with her, I wonder if the feeling is mutual. She seems to be pretty awkward or...
Anyway, Shilonen,
Correct. The situation isn't like anything we've handled before. Let me explain.
I see. So Mawika has asked you to forge an ancient name for an Outlander. Well, and you've also heard all about Auroron. I must say, he's always been a good kid. I can't see him joining the Fatui of his own volition. He must have been coerced somehow.
Yeah, that's what we came here to ask you. We'll help bring Auroron back if you help us solve the problems of forging the ancient name. What do
I suppose I'll just call you Traveler for now. Traveler, come here. Let me take a good look at you. Wealth leads to unending conflicts between people. Yet you alone transcend the value of gold. Baleful thunder and wrathful waves bring terror to mortal hearts. Yet again and again, you've braved them to find new worlds. A weary yet free soul. Even the most verdant leaf in the forest will pray for your happiness and safe passage. Those are all the things that I could see in you. You've experienced far more than even most mortals could dream of. You possess the heart of a sincere hero, along with the conviction to lift a torch above your head and walk headlong into the night. Huh? Don't move. There's something here.
Huh? What thing? Don't scare Paimon. Is the Traveler gonna be okay?
Shoo! That should do it. You've just returned from the Night Kingdom, so some fragments of souls were still stuck to your body. No need to worry. I've just cleared out the last of them.
Isn't that kinda like having part of a ghost come back with you?
It's nothing as serious as that. If left unattended, the most it could do is stir up some chaos in your mind. And...
well, in that case, better to get rid of them.
It was nothing. Shilonen, let's follow your proposal. Once you've brought Auroron back, I'll take you to see the Lord of the Night.
The Lord of the Night? But don't we need to talk to the Wyab of the tribes?
Something this important is beyond their jurisdiction. Only the Lord of the Night can decide whether we can grant an ancient name to one who does not hail from our lands. The Lord of the Night is an ancient entity that rules over the entire Night Kingdom, constantly borrowing the power of the sacred flame to combat corrosion from the abyss.
Oh, so you're basically saying it's even more powerful than the Wyab of the tribes. Well, that sort of makes sense, being the lord of the entire Night Kingdom and all.
Not exactly. It's not so much that one's more powerful than the other. But never mind. That's not important. Just listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. The Lord of the Night is currently in a deep slumber. and we can only communicate with its consciousness while in a trance. But I will need to prepare a few more things if we are to hold a ceremony to achieve the state of the trance. I'll make a list.
I can go. It'll probably be a long list, so better leave it to someone who knows all the local vendors.
Sounds good. Then we'll go with St. Lolly to track down Auroron.
Phew, the Fatui are nothing to scoff at, so please, be careful during your investigation. If you need it—
Yep, we'll be sure to play it safe.
All right, now it's time for us to catch that brat and bring him back. I'm sorry I made you wait earlier. It was actually because I decided to swing by Auroron's place to look for clues. He has always lived alone, and I found a broken jar in his house. There was also something off about his phlogiston aphids, which I assume is because their keeper has been gone for quite some time. And interestingly enough, I saw some slash marks in the house that did not match any of our local weapons. My guess is they were left by Snezhnayan arms.
Oh, sounds like the Fatui broke into his house and took him hot.
But why would they kidnap a kid who just spends his days living in the country and raising aphids? He's only in his 20s. What would they want with him? That's not to say that I believe he's totally innocent, of course. Since he's the only one who was kidnapped out of everyone in Natlan, he must have done something to attract their attention. In any case, we'll get to the bottom of this once we manage to get him back here. I'm truly sorry to put you two through all this.
You can count on us!
All right, then let's start by heading to where Auroron was seen last.
This realm is... If you ever have...
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
I see everything.
Don't tell me they did it again.
Make yourselves at home. Everyone hold hands.
Lightning, terrified! Our bondage game's up. Time's over. Busted.
There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal! Illusion shattered!
Get with me! I'll settle this!
Gotcha! There is no escape!
Our bond is strong! I see everything! The Temple of Wisdom!
Here comes the catch. Quietly now.
Shine down! Torn to oblivion! Ha! 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 Illusion shattered!
Hey! Get with me! Lightning purified!
Gotcha.
Sharing my knowledge! I see everything!
Quietly now. Game's up. Fun's over.
There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal! Illusion shattered!
I'll settle this!
Busted.
Shine down!
Committed to memory! The Temple of Wisdom! Hey! Get with me! Lightning purified!
Things are about to get dicey. Quietly now.
There is no escape! Now you shall perish! Ha! Ha! Ha!
I see everything! Out of my way! Dissipate!
Gotcha.
This may hurt a little. Hey! Make yourselves at home!
Game's up. Fun's over.
Our bond is strong! I'll settle this!
Illusion shattered! Torn to oblivion! Ha! 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 There is no escape!
Committed to memory! Get with me!
Busted.
Ha!
what they say is true. You have to see the world for yourself to appreciate how beautiful it is.
Ad Astra. Thank you for Ad Astra.
अरे हेलो हेलो, अरे सॉरी भाई, मैं भाग गया था। अरे भाई कोई बात नहीं भाई, मेरा 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 मन किया। देखो मैंने क्या कर दिया, डर लगी थी, ठीक है ना। हाय हाय हाय, क्या हाल चाल? अरे आबिर भाई ठीक है भाई, आपका क्या हाल चाल बताओ, क्या चल रहा है आबिर भाई? कैसा जा रहा है सब? अरे चल रहा है भाई, चल रहा है। अरे देखो मेरा डर लगी थी, देखो ठीक है ना। मेरे का मन किया, मैंने ये दो ओपन निकाल लिया। मैंने सारा पीमो वेस्ट कर दिया। मेरे सारा पीमो घुसा दिया अंदर, पूरा विश कर दिया भाई। यार पीमो नहीं है भाई, कुछ मत बोलना, मैं सब उड़ा दिया इधर। भाई साहब। इधर का क्या सीन था, कहाँ गया वो वाला? मेरे को ये चाहिए गोल्डन टूथ का, ये नहीं दे रहा, कॉस्ट 4 बोल रहा है। छी भाई, कर भी नहीं सकता मैं। क्या करूँ क्या करूँ क्या करूँ? 3 है, 3 सेटिस्फाइंग एलिक्सर है भाई।
There'll be an extra fee for that.
Something on your mind again? Let's work through it together. 2 heads are better than 1.
I'll think about it.
हेलो भाई। भाई इसका क्या करना है, कोई बता सकता है क्या मेरे को? इसका क्या करना है? ये मेरे पास 3 है भाई, मेरे को एक गॉबलेट चाहिए भाई, नहीं मिल रहा है इधर से। क्या किया जा सकता है ये एक्सपायर तो नहीं हो जाएगा ना ये क्या बोलते हैं इसको? ये सेटिस्फाइंग एलिक्सर क्या है ये चीज? पता नहीं कोई है कि नहीं है भाई। ठीक है चलो। ओके। तो 2 दिन है, इसके बाद एक्सपायर होगा। ठीक है ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं थी। एक करके देख लेते हैं कितनी देगा। 80 चीजें। अरे यार मैं देखना भूल गया। अरे इससे तुम आर्टिकल बना सकते हो। मैं 1 साल बाद ऑनलाइन आया भाई।
There'll be an extra fee for that.
मेरे को नहीं पता। अरे अरे मैं भी भाई, मेरे को भी नहीं पता। पर सेटिस्फाइंग लिमिट है तो ध्यान से यूज करो। हाँ वही ना भाई, मतलब मैं बोल रहा था मेरे को चाहिए क्या बोलते हैं, ये चाहिए। इसका ये गॉबलेट वाला पीस मेरे को एक अच्छा चाहिए। ठीक है ना? तो फिर मेरे पास 4 नहीं है, तो ये बाद में कर सकता हूँ या फिर ये एक्सपायर हो जाएगा बोल रहा है, टाइम रिमेनिंग है 8 डेज के बाद। तो क्या सीन है इसका, क्या कर सकते हैं हम? टाइम रिमेनिंग है इसका तो क्या कर सकते हैं भाई? पुराने को भाई क्या हो सकता है इसका? ये जाएगा या फिर एक्सपायर हो जाएगा? अरे ब्रोनिया मिल गया रे, होंकाई का। बाद में कर सकते हो, फिर मैं रख देता हूँ इसका सेटिस्फाइंग वाला, ये रख देता हूँ मैं। तो बाद में कर लूंगा अच्छा वाला पीस, यही चाहिए मेरे को, बाकी सब मेरे पास है थोड़ा बहुत। अच्छा अच्छा ही है, इतना बुरा भी नहीं है, मेरे को वही चाहिए। या फिर बाद में दूसरा कोई एक, ये मैंने निकाल लिया है सेटिस्फाइंग, ये देखो इसका तो रिस्ट हो गया, एक्सट्रैक्शन हो गया। इसका और नहीं हो सकता ना? एक्सपायर नहीं होगा, ओके ओके ओके। इसका और नहीं हो सकता ना? इससे मैं एक निकाल लिया सेटिस्फाइंग एलिक्सर, इसका और नहीं हो सकता ना कुछ भी? मैंने पूरा आर्टिफैक्ट घुसा के एक उठा लिया इधर से। ठीक है। और क्या करना था मेरे को? ये देखो पुराने को भाई, मैंने 2 वेपन ले लिया भाई। सारा सारा प्रीमो खत्म। 2 वेपन ले लिया भाई। प्रीमो इज खत्म। हमने ले लिया 2 वेपन। ओके। सबसे भाई, सबसे भाई जी। ओके। भाई जी वाला कौन सा मिशन आ गया? इसका क्या सीन है, चैलेंज का देख लेता हूँ एक बारी। अच्छा, इनको तो मारना है। ठीक है, ये कल अपडेट करने के बाद करूंगा मैं, अभी नहीं करने वाला ये। भाई टीसी को एक गाली दो ना प्लीज। अरे क्यों रे, क्या हो गया कुरने को भाई, क्या सीन है, क्या हो गया रे भाई, गाली क्यों दे हम उसको, क्या दलनागिरी कर दिया उसने। हाँ मेरे को दिखा रहा है क्या, विश स्टडी कितना विश कर दिया हमने, कितना विश कर दिया, नहीं दिखा रहा है अभी तक, नहीं दिखा रहा है। ओके, ट्वेल्व तक तो हो गया है मेरा, हाँ 20 हो गया, ठीक है। इधर एक बार चेक कर लेता हूँ ये क्या सीन है मेरा पास। level stuff CCD look जोंगली, जोंगली के लिए 2 चाहिए, डरा के लिए भी 2, सबके लिए 2-2 चाहिए क्या? इंगोंग के लिए भी 2 ही चाहिए। की कहाँ से मिलता है की और इसको, अबे अच्छा मिशन कंप्लीट करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। अबे क्या करना है ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा मेरे को, फिर भी देखता हूँ रेजन का करना है। ओके अच्छा ये वाला पोज, अच्छा पोज वाले मुझे अकाउंट में नाविया का करना, मास्टर कर लिया, पोजेस मास्टर कर लिया हमने। हाँ क्या अभी तो खत्म नहीं है। ये क्या कर रहे हैं? अरे भाई देख रहा हूँ, फॉर्चून देख रहा हूँ मेरा, फॉर्चून देख रहे हैं हम। ये थिएटर में आ गया, हम हमारा फॉर्चून चेक कर रहे हैं। There is a time for enough to meditate, sound and conversation, blah 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 blah, नहीं पढ़ना मेरे को, डलना नहीं है, बोल साइलेंस है, सब इन्वेस्टिगेट करने के लिए बोल रहा है इधर। थिएटर चेक कर लेते इस बार थिएटर में क्या है। ओके signal fast travel fast performance supporting fast okay 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 supporting fast तो ठीक है आधा टेस्ट आया का लेना है पुदीना नहीं है क्या इधर काजुआ है इसको अभी निकाल लेते हैं पुदीना ले लेते हैं अभी इसको नहीं चाहिए ये सब है रिक्वायरमेंट ओके अच्छा पायरो रिक्वायरमेंट में था इससे फिर तो दिक्कत है हम्म, हाँ 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 बोलो अरे हम इसके बारे में पूछ रहे थे समझ रहे हो पुराने को भाई मैं इसके बारे में पूछ रहा था कौन सा उल्फी क्या कर रहा है भाई हाँ कहाँ गया हाँ तो इधर से मैंने ये यूज करके अरे यार बाहर जाना पड़ेगा अभी तो ये बाहर जाके घूम के आता हूँ फिर बताता हूँ आपको हाँ तो भाई हम ये बता रहे थे कि हम इधर से आर्टिफैक्ट देख के एक और ले लिया सेटिस्फाइंग एलिक्सर तो इधर से तो और नहीं ले सकता तो ये और कुछ नहीं करना है ना तो ये तो मैं बाद में यूज करने वाला हूँ आपने तो बोला एक्सपायर नहीं होगा तो इधर और कुछ नहीं करना है ना या फिर कुछ करा जा सकता है इधर इधर बोल रहा है कि एक्सट्रैक्शन विल रीच फॉर दिस साइकिल तो मैं मेरे को एक और चाहिए तो मैं एक और ले सकता हूँ या फिर नहीं ले सकता इस साइकिल में या फिर ये 8 दिन के बाद मैं एक और ले सकता हूँ क्या सीन है इसका मेरे को कोई समझाओ ओके ओके सारा आर्टिकल से इधर कुछ भी रिडीम कर सकते हैं हम अच्छा है बहुत अच्छा है अब 8 डेज वेट करो ओके 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 समझ गया फिर 8 डेज के बाद मिलेगा मेरे को ठीक है भाई ठीक है इधर भी मैं ले सकता हूँ पर इधर मेरे पास है सब कुछ मेरे को कुछ नहीं मिला इधर इधर का मेरे को चाहिए भी नहीं है अभी ये मिला है ये टट्टी है ये तो और भी टट्टी है ये ठीक है बट टट्टी है डिफेंस देख रहे हो लौंडे की भाई डिफेंस देख रहे हो लौंडे की 17 नाइट सुपर भाई ये क्या क्या बोल रहे वाईटी पे गाइड ढूंढो या फिर नेटलैंड में तुम चेस्ट से ले सकते हो अच्छा नेटलैंड में चेस्ट वाईटी पे गाइड ढूंढो नेटलैंड में है 4 to 5 एलिक्स ओके ऐसे भी ले सकता है क्या ओके भाई समझ गया ओके 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 अच्छा ऐसे भी हो सकता है ठीक है फिर तो देखना है भाई मेरे को जो चाहिए आर्टिफैक्ट एक दो सेट में ले लूंगा फिर उससे पुराने को भाई मेरा सर्वर चेक करो भाई एक ड्रॉप हुआ है वो आप ले सकते हो चेक कर लो फास्ट वाला फास्ट वाला ले सकते हो आप वो अच्छा है वो अच्छा है भाई पॉपुलर सीरीज है एक आकाशिक रिकॉर्ड का मैं तो दूसरा वाला उठा लिया वो ले सकते हो आप चेक कर लो एक बारी सर्वर चेक कर लो और रुको अरे हेलो रीडर भाई वेलकम टू स्ट्रीम कैसे हो मेरे भाई क्या हालचाल भाई ये वही गेम है ना जिसका बाद इंसान घास क्या घास छूना भूल जाता है नहीं भाई ये ऐसा गेम नहीं है भाई
If
ये
you're
तो भाई
not sure
पूरा
what to do next,
छोटा
how
मोटा
about
गेम
I
है
take you on
भाई
a walk?
ओपन वर्ल्ड गेम है भाई ये ऐसा कुछ गेम नहीं है भाई
Yeah.
और रुको हाँ बताओ बताओ पुराना को भाई बताओ अचीवमेंट कितना पड़ा हुआ है मेरे पास थोड़ा बहुत अरे भाई ये 100% हो गया क्या बढ़िया फिर तो बढ़िया है। कहाँ गया? 100% वाला कहाँ गया? ये वाला। ओके, ये 100% हो गया। ठीक है, अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा। भाई कहाँ है सोफी में? हाँ, अरे सोफी में वो है ना। अरे मेरा सोफी सर्वर में। अरे कहाँ ढूंढ रहे हो? मेरा बोला ना, मेरा सर्वर चेक करो। कहाँ ढूंढने चले गए? मेरे सर्वर में था। आकाशिक रिकॉर्ड का एक ड्रॉप हुआ था, अच्छा है वो। आकाशिक रिकॉर्ड भाई पॉपुलर है। शायद तुम हो ना ये। हाँ, सैफ भाई भी हो सकता है, मेरे को लग रहा है सैफ भाई भी हो सकता है, पता नहीं। अरे अभी एक्सपायर हो गया पुराने का भाई, अभी छोड़ो। अभी एक्सपायर हो गया, वो वाला नहीं मिलेगा आपको। तुम्हारा सर्वर में हूँ, हमारा सोपी सर्वर में था ड्रॉप, एक्सपायर हो गया अभी। मैंने जब बोला तब था भाई। आकाशिक रिकॉर्ड का एक ड्रॉप हुआ था, देखो आकाशिक रिकॉर्ड का एक फास्ट वाला जो ड्रॉप हुआ था उसका। वो आकाशिक रिकॉर्ड का था, वो अच्छा है। उसका डिमांड है, मतलब समझ रहा करो आप बाकी का। मतलब कार्ड कार्ड का वैल्यू है उसका, आकाशिक रिकॉर्ड का। ओके। 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 ठीक है। रेपुटेशन दिया सुमेरू नाटलान का रेपुटेशन दिया है। ओके। अच्छा, मैं इधर थिएटर चेकआउट कर रहा था ना। थिएटर में इस बार क्या क्या है चेकआउट करना है भाई। देखना पड़ेगा क्या कुछ है। फिर आज भाई कार्ड चेकअप कर लेता हूँ। ठीक है, ठीक है, चलो चलो। ठीक है भाई। ठीक है ना, आज मैं 1 मिनट में आया। अच्छा अच्छा, ठीक है, सुनो 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 सुनो, आज के लिए भाई स्ट्रीम यही खत्म करते हैं। ठीक है ना भाई। चलो कल फिर से मिलते हैं एकदम सेम टाइम, या फिर थोड़ा आगे आगे का टाइम पे मिलते हैं। चलो भाई, सबको इधर स्ट्रीम पे आने के लिए सबको शुक्रिया भाई। धन्यवाद। टाटा, हैव अ गुड नाइट। टाटा, बाय बाय, हैव अ गुड नाइट एवरीवन। Resume is signing off, guys. Resume is signing off. Tada. Bye bye everyone. Good night. Bye.